Hey, y'all. What's happening, everybody? Monday morning. Ooh, November 1st. Can you believe it? Welcome to Monday Morning Get Up. I'm your man, Robert Kennedy III, RK3. That's me, with the show where we just leave you with a little bit of inspiration, a little bit of motivation to get you moving, get you popping, get you rolling through the rest of your week. And I hope you take it with you. I hope you don't just take it in and tuck it away in a pocket. I really hope that you take the messages that we share and use them and help them to be and stick them somewhere so that you can use them during the week. And I don't want you to only use them for yourself. I want you to share these messages with other people. So do me a favor, do your man a favor. Go ahead and click that share button. Go ahead and click that like button. Go ahead and click that subscribe button so that we can get these messages to others worldwide. All right. Do me a favor. Listen, if you have a thought, if you just want to respond, if you want to know when we're going live, text me 410-936-4049. For those of you that are on Instagram, check it out. Ooh, yeah. Go ahead. Text me 410-936-4049 so that you can know when we're going live, when we're sharing messages. Hey, D, how you doing this morning? Good to see you, D. All right, let's get some of these messages in here this morning. Hey, Cynthia, how you doing this morning? Good to see you. All right. Hey, I'm thinking this is Antoine. How you doing, computer pal? How you doing this morning? Good to see you this morning. Instagram people, Kev, how you doing this morning? Good to see you. James starts our visual. What's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Mimi Brown. Woo, yeah. Good to see you this morning. All right. Well, listen, let's get to our message for the day here. So I don't know if you've ever seen an avalanche. For those of you who are not clear what an avalanche is, if you have been skiing or if you've been in the mountains, you know that an avalanche is when snow and ice come rushing down the mountain and just kind of clears out everything in its path. It covers everything. It's like a force of nature. It's a force of nature. And maybe you ask the question, what starts an avalanche? What causes an avalanche to start, right? If the snow was up there before, what all of a sudden causes all of the snow to come rushing, crashing down and just kind of taking over everything in its path? Well, sometimes avalanches are caused simply by small vibrations. And those vibrations, when I talk about vibrations are not only things like earthquakes. Vibrations are not only things like wind. Vibrations can be sound waves. Where do we get sound waves? Where do sound waves happen? Well, sound waves happen with anything that makes sound, including your voice. Including your voice. This morning, here's what I want to do. I want to do two things. I want to share with you our quote for today, and I want to read for you. Instead of sharing a story from memory this morning, I'm actually going to read something like a passage from my book, Find Your Voice, 28 Secrets to Inspire You to Speak Up, right? And so this morning's quote says, "It only takes one voice at the right pitch to start an avalanche." I want you to hear that. It only takes one voice at the right pitch to start an avalanche. And here's what that translation is for us this morning. So let me read this. It says, Susan was a brilliant writer looking to make a name for herself in the journalism industry. Every article she wrote was thought-provoking and inspiring. There was only one problem. She refused to share the articles with people who could publish them. She desperately wanted to be a journalist, but she was afraid of doing the one thing that she needed to do, write in public. In a conversation with her mentor, he found Susan had a crippling case of imposter syndrome. She was afraid no one would listen to her or take her seriously. Ooh, how many of us feel that, right? As an unpublished writer, she felt like she had no credibility, right? Well, outside of publishing, what's your plan to get there? Her mentor asked. Well, there are a lot of Susans in our world. In fact, the International Journal of Behavioral Science lists a study where it finds that more than 70% of people experience imposter syndrome at some point in their lives. This is the nagging idea that somehow you don't belong or deserve to be where you are. Imposter phenomenon would have you believe that you don't deserve to be heard because you have nothing important enough to say. We watch as others say what they want and our gut tells us to speak. But like Susan, we don't feel smart enough or important enough. And so instead, you say nothing. I say nothing. Susan says nothing. We want someone to hear us, but it seems futile to stand up and shout. We want to stand out, but there's a sea of noise, distraction, and Snapchat filters. However, standing out isn't required. It isn't always necessary to be the loudest, most controversial, or most dramatic. Although it seems counterintuitive, standing out requires speaking at the right time and at the correct pitch. But you won't know the right time or pitch unless you happen to be speaking. There's no light bulb moment, flash, or start button. You must be in the game. You don't need to be loud all the time. Instead, you just need to be on the mountain. Speak. Start an avalanche. Listen, I don't know if that spoke to you this morning. I don't know if you learned or it resonated with you this morning, because there are a lot of us who are looking at all of these images. We're looking at all of these influencers. We're looking at the people on Instagram. And that's a common example, right? We're looking at people on Instagram. We're looking at people on social media. That's a common example. But here's an example that hits closer to home. Have you ever been in a scenario or a setting or even in a meeting where you had a thought, there's a problem, there's something that is being addressed in the meeting, and you had a thought about how to solve it, but you keep your thought to yourself? And as the meeting goes on, you're like, man, I know how to fix this problem. I know how to fix this challenge. I know how to adjust this. I think I have an idea. But you keep it to yourself. And then later on in that meeting, somebody speaks up and they share an idea either similar to or exactly what you had thought. And when they share that idea, the rest of the room erupts. It's like, yay, oh my gosh, that's so fantastic. That's a great idea. That's brilliant. And you're like, well, geez, what if I had spoken up earlier? Right? I don't know if that's happened to you. It's happened to me. It's happened to me quite a few times. It's happened to me too often. Because too often we squeeze our voice. We don't say what it is that comes to our mind because we think that we're going to be ridiculed, right? And when I say comes to your mind, I don't mean to speak without filter. I'm talking about sometimes we just hide our thoughts. We hide our ideas. We hide our creativity. We hide what's the gift that's been given to us because we're afraid of failure. We're afraid of ridicule by others. But here's what Diana Hardy says. It takes only one voice at the right pitch to start an avalanche. And as we said, an avalanche is a force of nature. So what if you spoke up? What if you opened your mouth? What if you shared your ideas? What could happen? Imagine the force of nature that could take place. Imagine what could happen, what change, what transformation could happen if you spoke up, if you opened your mouth, right? And that's one of the big reasons why, and I don't want this to sound like a pitch this morning, but that's one of the big reasons why I wrote this in the first place. Find your voice. 28 secrets to inspire you to speak up and speak out. Because so many of us have not just lost our voice, but we've had our voices squeezed or silenced. And the more of us that have our voices squeezed or silenced, the more of us that allow our voices to remain squeezed or silent is the more, hold on one second. My Instagram people are losing me. Sorry about that, Instagram people. All right. The more of us that allow our voices to be squeezed or made silent is the more of us that cause. Let me back up for a second. The more of us that allow our voices to remain silent is the more that the world remains unchanged, right? Because change happens through an agitator. Change happens through something being said. Change happens through an avalanche. And it only takes one voice. It only takes your voice at that right pitch to start that avalanche. So I hope that you heard that message this morning. And I hope that as you heard that message, you resolved inside of yourself that you're no longer just going to sit there with your ideas. I hope that as you heard this message, you've resolved that you're no longer going to hide in plain sight. I hope that you've taken on this Monday morning, November 1st. I hope that you've said that no longer will you keep all of your goodness, all of your gifts, all of your skills, all of your creativity, all of your light inside of you, but you're going to shine it. You're going to open your mouth. You're going to share your voice. You're going to share your story so that somebody can be changed, a situation can be changed, something can be transformed that's going to truly make a difference in the world. I hope that's your story this morning, and I hope that you are going to share your voice. Do me a favor. If you want to make sure that you know how to share that voice even more, my friends and I have something special coming up on November 10th, and we want you to be a part of this. It's called the Magnify Your Message Experience. Go check it out. Go to magnifyyourmessage.live/info, and we're going to share some information with you about how you can access that session so that you can not only allow your voice to be heard, but that it can make a difference and it can transform not just your world, but the world. All right. Join us. Go to magnifyyourmessage.live/info and get signed up there, and you'll hear from me really soon. Hey, we do this every Monday morning. Every Monday morning at 8:30 a.m., we share a get up message. We hope that it inspires you, and we want you to use that message to share it with somebody and make a difference in your world today. I'll see y'all next Monday for another edition of the Monday Morning Get Up. Here we go. We're going to get out of here. Here we go, Instagram people.